Jagannathan Tunugulta joins in, strategist and head of research at SMC Global Securities. Jagan, good morning. Good to have you with us here on the show. 2% bounce, sell the rally, or you think the bounce might have some more way to go?
I believe last expiry was really painful for many traders because the swings were so volatile and so huge. I mean, the data flow has been so thick and fast last F&O. The experience has been quite painful. But this F&O probably will feature more with vacation and holiday season. So the trading volume and the overall build-up will be can be expected to be relatively light and easy. Whereas the market trend is concerned, more or less we should remain in a range until and unless some geopolitical news come, maybe from Korea or whatever. But otherwise, broadly, it should remain in a range, maybe plus or minus 150 points nifty from here. I know it's a relatively larger range, but that's where the market is now.
So you said 50 to 100 points, or sorry, I missed that.
150.
What was the range?
Plus or minus 150. Plus or minus 150.
Plus or, okay, 150. Okay. So, Jagan, let's talk about stocks over the last 2 days or so. Actually, through the course of the last 7-8 trading sessions, is there anything where you've been opportunistic, picked up stocks because the corrections and falls have been excessive in nature?
I believe some PSU stocks were at very nice prices. One is Coal India and REC. That's why yesterday I think REC has seen a very strong bounce. I think 320 REC and sub 300 Coal India can be a good prices any given day. And even the MOIL IPO that is going on, I think that's a nicely priced issue. And I think after Coal India, I think now the whole system of positioning of the public issues, government is very clear, because give a reasonable discount to the market will treat you much fairly. I think now clearly the message was clear now. I believe MOIL priced extremely well, and the company is a great company, and the stock should see a good listing gains as well. And today retail subscription last day, I think there should be healthy numbers as well. I believe overall, I think PSU game is appearing very good. Whenever the market falls, I think they can be very quality picks.
Come back to a couple of these names. Sri Ashtavinayak, what are you picking up on that one? What's going on?
Yeah, I think these mid caps at times can be move very fast. That's a major challenge with these stocks. If there is any release, there is occasional bounces in these stocks. But I think these stocks are meant for only high risk, high return kind of appetite kind of zone. Yeah, I mean maybe some news about maybe some maybe movies or something like that. Barring that. Yeah, I mean, at times these stocks are also questioned for corporate governance and transparency issues, so difficult to track these unless some news flow is there inside.
Okay, difficult to track, lots of other stuff to track, so essentially what you're saying is don't waste your time looking at some of these stocks, some of the very small cap names, high interest at some points in time, and then completely lacking in interest in other times. But that's taken a big cut. 5874 on the Nifty, got a 12-odd point move, a 0.25% or so. 19,557 on the Sensex, that's a 36-odd point move there. So that's the index with about 6-odd minutes into this particular session. Real estate and DB Realty in particular, have you looked at DB Realty, Jagan, in detail?
Yeah, I mean, real estate is one very tricky story that is going on since 2008, Prashant. I think after whatever happened in the subprime in US, entire global fund managers have really become anti-real estate, and they are shorting the real estate wherever they see. And in the process, real estate stocks couldn't able to bounce back along with the market in 2009, 2010. Secondly, their IPOs, even though they are getting the SEBI clearance, they are unable to open the issues. And thirdly, after this, whatever happened in the last week, now even the bank loans getting is difficult. So finance financing the big projects it may be difficult for the developers going forward. DB Realty has fallen very significantly, maybe because of which maybe some bounce may be appearing, and maybe after some management giving some clarification about that. But barring that, I think considering the kind of news flow that we have seen last week, I believe real estate can be a clear avoid even going forward. I think many fund managers clearly don't want to touch the space. But if somebody wants to play that bounce, maybe one can play, but very tricky sector as of now.
Jagan, some of the metals are seeing some buying today. Hindalco's up nearly 3, Tata Steel's up 2, SAIL is up 1.5% nearly. Any interest in the metal side, and if so, on what premise?
Metals, what's happening is it's the correlation with the dollar index, in the sense the opposite correlation that is going on. The dollar index, whenever it is weak, the metals are going up, or when the dollar index is strong, metals are coming down. I think in that equation, again, equity and metals are little bit going up after the dollar index has seen little bit dip. But otherwise, I think some buying interest may become, because in the last F&O, especially last week, many of these stocks have been really fallen very fast after the dollar index has risen. So I think some value buying may be coming back in these frontline stocks, let's say this SAIL. And moreover, amidst of this government ongoing divestment activities, some focus is again coming back to these companies where FPO activity is on. I think some bounce can be expected there. But broadly, I think this month, I think more or less we should be in a range.
But the strength in the dollar index should be negative for these metal stocks generally, at least globally, right? I mean, could there be a domestic aspect to this entire metal story that would be playing out?
Yeah, last week when the dollar index was bounced back, then many of these metal space and the equities have come under pressure. But after that pressure, naturally some value buying would have come up because the prices were appearing little reasonable. I was referring to the last week's dollar index strengthening.
All right. Well, the dollar index has continued to strengthen, and no signs yet of it completely topping out. Thanks so much, Jagan, for joining us.